Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your patience. This is once more Bishay Tech Tip of the Week. I've been away for a while. I've been really busy. As you may know, I have still full-time job, so I have not retired yet to dedicate my time to all this. But we're gonna talk today about something really unique. I have brought this before. It's the use of AI in photograph and whether that will actually replace us or not. And of course, it will not. And that's a subject to a different discussion. But what most of you do not know or may know, that this is nothing new. Nothing new in Adobe, nothing new in Photoshop. And a matter of fact, Adobe have been using this for the past 10 years developing Adobe Sensei, or you can call it AI. So whether you call it Adobe Sensei or AI, it's all basically the same. So if you look at background replacement, sky replacement, content-aware filter, all these are actually using Adobe Sensei or AIs. But now again, one more time, just for your information, you can reach me at raouf@raoufbishay.com or raouf@bishayphotography.com. I am a member of Bloomington Photo Club. You can reach us at bloomingtonphotoclub.org. The address is right there in the screen for you. One of the best photographic club in Bloomington. I encourage you to go in there. We are a bunch of photographers from professional to seasonal or just non-professional hobbyist. We help each other. We have all kinds of tech tab, and I encourage you to visit at least the website to know a little bit about us. Without further ado, let us dive into some of the new and exciting, mind-blowing, really, things that Photoshop is doing. I am in Photoshop beta testing, and I'm privileged to be able to really actually use this product and work with it. And to start with, I'm going to take a photograph. Let's just dive deep into it. This is a photo that I took, actually use my iPhone. I've been in golf course, one of the best, actually it is rated #1 golf course in Indiana. We had strategic planner meetings. I've been really busy in there. I'm there, of course, wearing my suit. I'm trying to be cool and, you know, and just being able to act my role as a chief technology officer. I could not help but grab my iPhone and try to take a picture of it. Okay, it's pretty nice. It shows nice sky. It shows a nice portion of the golf club, of the of the golf course. But look at the right hand side of the picture. What I say? Oops. There is a flag in there with a flag ball, but I totally missed that. All right. So here comes Photoshop new beta for rescue. What I want to do in here is I'm going to actually go to my crop tool. Okay. And in this case, I'm going to just extend my photo little bit to the right. Okay. Now I am going to go in there and select my tool in here. And what I want to do is I want to select the little portion of the white in here as this. Okay. And I actually want to do a few things in here. I want to extend it a little bit, I guess. So let's go in here and do extend the selection to, I don't know, maybe 5 pixel. Okay, so that's pretty good. Now we're gonna go to the creative fill. That's an interesting new thing now, and that's available only in the beta portion of Photoshop. I'm gonna click in it, And in this case, I'm not gonna give it any prompt. I'm just gonna generate. I'm gonna let the AI or photo sensei to look at my scene and try to figure out how do I want to fill the rest with. So basically, it's going to look at it and we'll do it. Well, it did something here. I'm not actually sure what it is. So I'm going to have some variation of it. And I'm going to look at it and say, well, that's not really what I wanted to do. So I'm just going to generate again. Now, this is beta testing, so it's not necessarily is going to give you 100% of what you want. Okay, so one more time, it gave me some other option now that I can look at and see what it is. And I didn't like this because it created all these. So I'm going to do Control Z and try to go back again to my original selection. And I'm gonna try to say, okay, wait a minute, I must select something wrong. Let me go ahead and do it again. And I'm showing you this, so you know that's not necessarily to work 100% of the time, but it should give you a very good thing. And I'm gonna do the same thing again. I'm gonna generate and see if it can really figure out what I want. And the reason I'm doing this also because a couple of times I had to go through this and try to figure out what it's doing. Now I created something else new. So if I look in here, I don't like it, but look at this one. That's close, not quite, because it generated to me in here a top flag, right? But I can actually go in there and it chooses the top flag and do the same thing. Just say create fill and generate. And sit down in there and wait. And here you go. So now what I did was I created some, I'm going to give it some up because that's exactly what I wanted to do. I mean, if you think about it, I'm trying to move this. You can see in here that it actually figured out that there is a flag in there and filled the picture with the flags. Now I have actually a picture that say, well, you know what? Now I can use this. So since I like this, I'm going to keep it as is. Again, you can hide those at any given time and figure out what was the original picture as or whatever the case is. Now, I really like this, so I'm going to leave it in here. I give it the thumb up so they know that, this is really what I wanted to do. And in a matter of fact, I like it enough that I'm going to save this. I'm going to save it in as a BSD file somewhere in my desk. I'm just going to save it for download for now. Okay, that's fine. Save. Okay. Now let's try something else. Actually, let's try something unique. It's still saving it, so I'm going to have to wait until it save it. Okay, let's try something else. This is a picture that I took for a young lady. Actually, some of you who did KIB Photoshop a couple of years ago will recognize her. Anna, she worked with us, and she is wearing in here a nice, lovely dress, and I took the picture in there. And I said, you know what? I want her to wear jeans. I want to dress her down a little bit. That's really interesting. So I'm going to take my marquee tool. I'm going to take a square about where I want it to be. And I'm going to go to the generating here. And I'm going to type jeans. That's all I need to do. Now, once more time, my selection was not really correct. So I'm gonna go back again. I wanna expand the selection where it makes sense. You know what I mean? I wanna cover the whole dress, not just some of the dress. I'm gonna type jeans again. Again, a matter of trial and error. I've been playing with that with all kind of different things, and I said you can get different variation of it. So I'm gonna go ahead and see this and look at this. We have, ladies and gentlemen, I mean, you can't really ask. This is something that can take you forever to generate. You know what I mean? And you can go in there. Let's just go in here and just see what it did. It actually dressed it here and assumed certain shoes. Um, I don't like the way that it did it in here, so I'm looking in here in different variation and find out what it did and what did not do. This is another variation. This is something even more, and I can generate again. It will generate me something else and see what it is. And again, put white shoes in there. Now remember, now as we generate that, it also keep the old generations. He can do anything you want to do. But that's just incredible. And I didn't do anything. I did a couple of strokes and now I got a whole new way to do it. Of course, you can go in there for more precise selection and so forth. But that's not what I'm here to do. But here's another thing. Let's say that I'm going to have actually, this is a picture that I have done earlier. Okay. And let's see the before and after in this picture. Actually, I'm going to have to shrink that little bit so I can see what I'm doing. I'm going to turn off. So, you who knows me, I was in Alabama in Dolphin Island for a week. This is my son-in-law. He's swimming. He's looking behind him in the wave. And I decided to put a dolphin in there. And here is what happened when I tried to put a dolphin. I did not like the color, so I modified it again a little bit. Or can I put something else in there? Sure. I can go in here and do a selection. Let's say right here, for example. And I can say fish. No. Just see what the Adobe Sensei will do. So you can add more than item in there also as you do the scene. Here is a fish that's jumping. I can do different ones. It's just incredible how this is really all working. Let's try to get out of there. Don't save this. I don't want to save any of that stuff. But let's look at something even interesting more. Let's go to let's do something that I did recently, 2023, Delphi Island, and let's look at landscape. Let's see if there is something we have in the beach. Or here is something right here. Let me take this picture and work with it, see what it is. It's a nice picture as is, but this is I want to put something in there. I do not want it to be just a plain for some reason or another. Well, let me just take a part right here, for example, and let's put a dog in there. How about if we do that? Dog. Look at this. We have a dog. But not only that to put a dog, it put the dog with probation. I mean, the size-wise, it resizes it where it makes sense in the scene. I can do the dog this way. I can do that dog this way running out. I can generate more dogs if I do not like these dogs. And now I have a different type of dogs and different kind of position or whatever the case is. I can take a dog and just, do it. Let's say I want to take this dog, but I want a sitting dog. Sitting dog instead of just a dog. Well, that's really not quite got it because we already created the dog, but we can create a new one. Let's go right here and say setting dog. And we create a setting dog in here, for example, and we can generate again and do something else with it. All right, let's see how intelligent this is. Let's go to here, and I'm going to expand this actually more, like this. Okay, and I am going to select it, select what I just expanded. I want to see if actually this thing work. I'm just gonna, if I did not put any prompt to say that I want a subject in there, what happens is Sensei it assume that I want to extend the picture. So it looks at the scene and looks at the photo and extend it. And that's exactly what is that doing. Look at this. I mean, let me look at the whole scene. I mean, that's absolutely incredible. Can you do it by hand? Absolutely. But look how long it will take. It even took the curvage of the walkway and made it. You know what I mean? So it is just incredible how this new technology is there. Now, it's going to be subject to debate whether this is good or bad. Well, a lot of times you do some things and then you regret that you did not do that little thing or you did not see it in the field, and you may need that to make the picture what it is. Okay, let's try something else with the new. I'm gonna not save this again. This is just work in that I'm doing. Let's find. I need to find a model. Let me go to tech photo in here and see if I can find some. Okay, here is a model. I'm gonna take this picture in here. This is not my picture. This is a picture that I had worked with before to see some stuff. So let's say you take this model in here. It was a fashion shot, and he said, "Oh my golly, I forgot to put an earring in here." Interesting, huh? So let's see. You'll have to excuse my spelling. Sometimes I'm can do it wrong, but I'm gonna take a part in here and then create a fill. I'm gonna do fashion. Oops, fashion earring. Let's see if it even understood what I just said, even though it misspelled it. Here you go. Now, think about it. Let me comment. Think about this just for a minute. I requested fashion earring. Not only that she created the earring where I needed to be, but also kind of matched the dress. And it has a variation that I can choose one or the other. This is just incredible. So even when you have a few missing parts, you can always change it to somewhere else. Okay, let's we beat that to death. Let me try something totally different. If I can go to my okay, let me go again to open. I need to open a file in here that's going to be interesting to find. Let me go to download. Okay. Now, everybody did this before. Okay. Where you got these pictures and you can see all this fence in front of you and you want to remove it. I can tell you 101 way in how to remove this, and all of them are very, very tedious, time consuming proposals. So I'm gonna make this big enough so you can see it. Now they have new tools in the new um, in the new Adobe in here, if I can get to it, and it say remove tool, not healing brush, but this is a new one that say remove tool, and I am gonna make it big enough for the fence, and I am just gonna draw over the part of the fence. And that's going to be, it will go in the web, it will analyze the picture, and it will remove this part of the fence. Obviously, I'm not going to go through the whole picture and do this, but you can see how beautiful this removing the fence work. So you can say in here, it did not do very good job, right? Well, okay, I can go over it again and remove it again. I can go over it again and remove it again. I can do it until it gives me the result that I want. Now, right, let's try, how about the eye? Because that can be an issue, right? I'm gonna go in here to try to remove this. Look how beautiful this is. It did not give me an extra eye. Let me make this a little bit bigger. Remove this. Let's try to remove a piece from the beak of the bird. How would that sound? How about removing this piece of the bird? What does that look like? How about removing that? Oops, fence piece. Still do not like this kind of trashed green. So I'm gonna remove some of these. I should have removed actually this. That's what the problem is. All right. That, again, you can go in there over and over again and to try to remove these. And as you go through them and to correct your mistake, just like what I'm doing. See, I don't like the way it did in the beak, so I went back again and did it. How about the feather? How about if I go in here in the feather and do this? How about if I do this again, so I can remove this? How about if I do this? And this. And this. Okay, let's look at the tail. I'm looking at the fine detail that usually would have harassed us as we are doing content aware or whatever the case is. But you can see that the new tool for remove tool, it's working perfectly. And when you have something that you did not like, you can always redo it on the fly. Now, obviously, you can go ahead and do that in all of it and be able to remove them. And I am not gonna really do that. And I do not, you know, you can see I'm not patient. I'm trying to do this real quick. But anyhow, okay, wait a minute. Let's do the branches. Because that's another problematic that we have in the past. When you remove fence, it made funny things with the branch. So we're gonna try to remove that actually without, hopefully without really affecting the branch. Look at this. It understands what the branch is supposed to look like, and it just somehow replace it with the correct information from the photo. Oops. How about this part right here? Oh yeah, it works. How about this part? And you will notice when it replaces a background, and the background is bokeh, it, it's bokeh. It does not replace it with something weird. It replaces it with bokeh background. So, okay, how about this one, which it has two things. It has the feather and it has the branch. I mean, ladies and gentlemen, you talk about magic. That is true magic to be able to do this. And with this thing, I'm not gonna go through the whole details of it, but you can see how beautiful this work is. And obviously, if you really take your time, you will be able to do an excellent job. I do not like what I did in here, but you can always go ahead and clear it. You know what I mean, in any way that that will make it fit. Just to make sure that it's really working, I'm gonna go in some of these fine details. How about this one? Look at this. This is pretty awesome. Okay, but here is another thing that I have not. I'm gonna bring this back in again because there is something that I usually do, but I did not do really, and I need to do it. So if I'm right here, let me zoom in that. All right, one of the things in here I do assemble all layer and I create a new mask. Oops, excuse me, Control Command Z. And I assemble all layer. Now, if I do that, I do it non-constructive because if I go in here and do this, this is working, but I also can see before and after. I usually do this. I did not start it in the beginning because that was not really part of what I'm doing. But really, I encourage you to always do it this way so you have the option to go back and see really what you did and what you did not do for this. You know, I'm gonna try to get this right in here. Anyhow, you got the gist now of how you do this, ladies and gentlemen. This is just getting. This is the tip of the iceberg. I will encourage you to get the beta, play with it, work with it, and find out how well or how not well you do. So I guess the only thing I can tell you is how you get the beta. So I'm gonna close this for right now. I'm done with this. Don't save. All right, I'm not gonna save that stuff. I'm just using this for testing. But now to really do this, you will have to have a valid subscription to Creative Cloud, and you're gonna have the latest one. And when you go to Creative Cloud, you can go to App, and under App, you can choose what kind. If you go to All Apps, it gives you all the apps that you have. If you go to Home, it should give you the beta testing, and you can just choose the beta. If you choose the beta, you really it's a different installation. So you can install it without affecting or uninstalling your normal Photoshop. So actually I can start beta Photoshop or my Photoshop, and they are totally independent. So you will have to sacrifice some of the I guess some of disk space. And of course, in here you can just join the beta, and you have all kinds of different beta in here. But what I'm interested with was Photoshop, and that's what I did. Anyhow, with that, I really appreciate you paying attention to some of this. I hope you look at the potential of AI or photosensei. uh, Anything within reasonable use is good. Anything with overuse is bad. So if you think that this creative fill, what they call it, or creative remove, as you see in moving the fences, is a bad thing, you know what I mean, or a way to create scene that does not exist, that is not going to be a good thing in the photography industry. But it's rather tools, just use it as a tool to correct some minor mistake that you do or whatever the case is. Anyhow, I hope you enjoyed that. If you have any question, as usual, call me, get hold with me, Raouf at bishaiphotography.com. Please go visit bloomingtonphotoclub.org, one of the best photography club in the in Bloomington, Indiana, or Indiana. Thank you so much, and I'll talk to you later.